The next article I wanted to talk about is titled Ark Encounter Ticket Sales Went Up in September, but Pre-COVID Numbers Were Higher. This is written by Hemant Mehta on the Friendly Atheist website, so I figured we'd give it a look and see what it had to say. Attendance at Ark Encounter is finally picking up after a year lost to the pandemic. That's not the creationists' fault, obviously, but the recovery has been slow for them just like everyone else, and the numbers today are still not as high as they used to be. And a recent attempt to boost summertime attendance hasn't worked at all. Thanks to public record request by local paleontologist Dan Phelps, we now have the numbers for September. You can read more background about how it's calculated here. I actually remember reading about this, and it's pretty complex, but let's see if I can... Yeah, actually, in fact, I read this specific article. Let me just read through a little bit of this one. The numbers are finally in for Ark Encounter's attendance over its entire second year of existence, and wait for it, creationist Ken Ham was exaggerating its popularity. This one came out in 2018, and it was written by Hemant Mehta also. This is basically the original article about Ark Encounter attendance. It says, Northern Kentucky's Noah's Ark replica attracted 1 million visitors during its second year of operations, officials said. So according to Ken Ham, basically, they attracted 1 million visitors during their second year. But let's read what Hemant Mehta had to say. Remember, this article is from 2018, and it's basically an explanation for how they figured out how many visitors they got legally, because if they don't release the information, we don't have it necessarily, right? Well, this is what Hemant Mehta says here. 1 million people, that's much less than even Ham predicted he'd see. More on that in a moment. But it was also a useless statistic. What mattered were the number of paying customers. You know, the people who contribute to the local economy. On that measure, the city of Williamstown wasn't nearly as optimistic. That's because they had something much more reliable than Ken Ham's word. Due to a 50-cent per ticket safety fee that pays for ambulances, fire trucks, etc. that was imposed last summer, they know exactly how many paid visitors actually came to the Ark. The numbers were so bad they needed to readjust their budget. Ouch. After not collecting the anticipated amount from safety assessment fee in 11 months or 2 months? I think that's... I can't tell if that's a 1 or an I. Williamstown has scaled back its projected revenue in its 2018-19 fiscal year budget. The Ark brought in $374,295 in its 11 months, I guess is what that is. This is Hemant Mehta again. If you do the math, that meant 748,590 tickets were sold over the first 11 months of the fiscal year. Not even close to 1 million. Either Ark Encounter needed to pull in more than 250,000 visitors in the month of June, or they were giving away a hell of a lot of free passes. So that's basically how they figured it out. They figured it out by looking at the public information about the safety fee, how much the city earned on the 50-cent per ticket safety fee, and then they multiply that number to figure out exactly how many tickets were sold, pretty much. That is how we know the Ark Encounter's actual numbers and don't have to rely on information from Ken Ham himself. He said there were over 1 million their second year. It was actually closer to 750,000. Okay, let's get back to the original article that I was looking at here. The bottom line is Ark Encounter had 64,301 paying visitors in September. That is significantly higher than the 44,000 they had last September after the place shut down due to COVID on March 17th, 2020. Then opened back up later that summer. It means that their attempts to draw people in are finally on an upswing, though this month's numbers still don't match the ones they saw in September of 2019. So this is a chart that we can look at. Hemant Mehta says, here are all the attendance numbers we know, along with the safety fee that Answers in Genesis has paid to the city of Williamstown. The public nature of that fee is how we know the attendance numbers at all. If you look at this chart, this is the month on the left side, January through December. And we have a column for 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. The 5 years that they've been in operation. On the right side of the chart, it shows us the increase and decrease amount. So right now, we're talking about September 2021, and it looks like it's an increase from the previous year by 19,730 attendees. That's how much it increased. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't think that creationism is getting more popular as time goes on, especially now. A lot of people have left their churches behind after the pandemic hit. They just didn't feel comfortable going to church, or their churches shut down, or any number of other things. And church attendance has dropped through the floor in the past year, year and a half, 2 years. It's dropped through the floor. More people are identifying as religious nuns now than ever. Before I continue, I wanted to mention something. If you like what I do and you want to see me continue to do it, you can support me by checking out my sponsor, Surfshark VPN. There was a time in my channel's history when I put my patrons' names up at the end of each video, but I stopped doing that because the type of people who watch my videos need privacy. The extremist groups I talk about and the people that come out of their congregations and start watching my channel shouldn't be using the internet without a VPN. Last year, I got attacked by an extremist group in West Virginia for reporting a teacher to FFRF for teaching about Jesus in the classroom, and things got ugly. You would honestly be surprised how hard it is to cover your tracks and remain safe on the internet, and how easy it is to have your real information uncovered. So if you want to support me and keep your private information private, check out Surfshark. If you use the promo code Telltale, you get 83% off a membership, plus 4 months for free. Not to mention the fact that there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you try it and you don't like it, you can just cancel and get your money back. So support me and try Surfshark. As I said, the promo code is Telltale. Link is in the description. More people are identifying as religious nuns now than ever. Anyways, the point is, creationism is falling in popularity generally. I think it probably hit its peak in 2017 and 2018 when Ken Ham originally opened this thing. And he's most likely, I'm guessing, never going to see numbers like he saw those first couple of years. Even if we completely recover from the pandemic, he probably won't see those types of numbers ever again. I'm guessing. That's speculative, but we'll see what happens. Let's keep reading the article, see what Hemant Mehta had to say. Over the past year, Ark Encounter had to postpone on-site conferences. Like other tourist attractions, they've also missed out on spring break trips, summer vacations, and warmer weather attendees in general. Yeah, I guess this is not a great time to open the Ark Encounter for fiscal reasons. Most workers at the Ark were also temporarily laid off. They finally reopened on June 7th, 2020, which, by the way, was too fucking early. I'll tell you right now, we didn't even have vaccines yet by that point. But until now, very few people had any desire to visit, presumably due to COVID. I'm surprised, honestly. I would have thought that this market would have been the least affected market out of any, because the people that are going to the Creation Museum and the Ark Encounter are the exact types of people who refuse to believe that COVID is a problem in the first place. The exact same audience. Let's keep reading. This is Hemant Mehta again. This is also interesting because Ham spent most of August promoting his 40 Days and 40 Nights of Gospel Music Festival, which he billed as the largest Christian music festival in the world. Ugh, God, that sounds awful. Looks like people just didn't care, at least not enough to boost the attendance numbers to their earlier highs. Keep in mind that the Ark's parent company, Crosswater Canyon, received between $1 million and $2 million from the Paycheck Protection Program. And Ham also raised at least $1.135 million in a separate fundraiser to offset COVID-related losses. Finally, remember that the actual attendance is higher than these numbers represent because kids get in for free, as do members with lifetime passes. But giving away freebies to children and life members doesn't help the local economy as much as drawing in first-time customers who are ready to spend money, or conference attendees who are there for another reason. Absolutely fascinating. He can't be giving away that many free tickets, right? To make up the difference. Like, he originally said that there were 1 million people, I think, in 2018. What was the date on that? He said there were 1 million people that attended in all of 2018, I believe. Yeah, it's second year. They had 1 million people, where in reality they only had 750,000, give or take. He didn't give away 250,000 free tickets, right? I cannot possibly imagine that being the case. And I'm also kind of disgusted by the fact that he took PPP money, the Paycheck Protection Program money. That gets to me a little bit. I believe this is a non-profit, and that means he doesn't pay taxes. If he's not contributing to society in some real tangible way, he shouldn't get it. There are some non-profit organizations that really do contribute to society in a real, tangible way, and they can prove that. The Ark Encounter is not contributing to society in any positive way at all. I don't think he should be entitled to the money, but I don't know. That's just me.